Do it, Ray. Do it. Do it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, that's exactly what I was looking for, bud. That's
I
exactly what
thought
I
you
was
were gonna
looking
do
for.
it, so my bad, my bad. I thought you was gonna be on key with that.
Oh man, Jeff Kanata cannot be here today. Patrick Dees cannot be here today. We're in that weird between Christmas and New Year's when you don't know
Yeah,
what day it is, right?
right.
And you're like, wait, when was Christmas? What day is New Year's? Which day do I work? And Dee's like, I just thought we weren't doing the show. And I was like, I never said we weren't, but I think people
Yeah,
just kind of assumed. And that's
yeah,
why I called you and I was like, Ray, you
yeah.
gotta do it.
I
Yeah.
was like, hey, you know what? It's the ink and toner going in 2023. That just tell you something right there.
I'm thinking, Ray, and by the way, a huge upgrade for Raymond Austin with his 2 jerseys in the back, New York Jets and Chicago Bears.
Man, I think I was telling you the story earlier. My wife is amazing, man. I've
Yeah.
definitely overkicked the coverage
Yeah.
on this one, and it's been it's been great. We've been back in Chicago, but she's gotten the boom boom back. I got the boom boom back, and that's the boom boom room, and my whole basement's getting done. So she brought all the old, she brushed them off, and I got space for all the other jerseys. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I've got all the 36s. Every time we get a team, I get all the 36s of every team. So I've got my name on all the jerseys, and so I'm gonna frame all the jerseys in my lot here, and then put some. I have a weight room. I've been putting together weight. Man, you know what I did? Oh, bro, you know what I did? I bust my bursa sacs in my knee, my right knee. So I didn't see the desk, and I kind of turned around, hit the corner of the desk. My knee swelled up. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I go to the doctors. I end up bursting the burst. And I don't know if you know what a bursa sac is, but it's like a bubble underneath your skin that makes your knees, do this. But if you don't have those, that shit is painful, and it's like all the tendons. You hear the tendons clacking over the knee. Like,
oh no,
it's the worst. And I'm like, I had it when I was in the high school. I played my senior year with.
Can you regrow the sacs?
You can regrow the sacs. Okay. And they got to drain these sacs though. They got to drain these sacs out of my knee. So yeah, I got to get a big ass needle. They're gonna drain my sacs in the knee. And then once they get that fluid out, and then it just goes back together, man. So it's like my shit is on fire, bro.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Ben, you've had a talk about 2022 has been a crazy year. And thank you everybody for being here. We are not usually we have fans vote on the name of the show, as Ray knows. We already have a show name for next week. We got it 2 weeks ago. This is just Ray and I hanging on a Thursday live because we didn't do one last week before Christmas. Figured give you guys a little almost New Year's Eve spectacular. Okay. So we're going to take a lot of your fan questions. Banana Lee says, sounds like another excuse not to compete in the tryouts. Ray busted his knee sacks. His knee sacks got busted. So we have a ton of Discord questions. We have a ton of fan questions. Ray and I are going to talk about maybe our favorite New Year's Eve, that kind of stuff. 2022 is a wild year. We'll talk a little bit about a year in review. But before we get into it, we had an absolutely I don't think tragedy is the right word for this, Ray. It was it's more than a tragedy. One of our own, Christian Salisbury, was shot and killed a little over a week ago in Memphis, Tennessee, and it shocked our entire family. And I know, Ray, you've talked to some of his family. If you could maybe go into a little detail, and then we can show his GoFundMe for his memorial fund.
Yeah, man. It's been and I heard about it the day before my birthday. Man, it was just like, it's always a punch in the gut, man. Look, I live in Chicago. I'm in Chi-Town. And if y'all don't know what Chicago's called Chirac for a reason. And it can be very violent here, and it's sad, and it sucks, because it's such a great city, you know what I mean? And it's everywhere now. It's everywhere. And, I lived in Tennessee, and it's a great state too, as well. And this happened out in Memphis. My best friend is actually from Memphis. And it sucks, man. It really, when you see it happened to, you're always so close to it. It's you hear about your next door neighbor and their son or their their cousin or their nephew passed. You're like, oh man, and it hits you a little bit, but then every time it gets closer and closer to you, it just stings. And especially with somebody like Christian. If you guys don't know, Christian is like him and his mom were the agent duo. They were the most incredible duo that I've ever seen work.
She came on the show, right?
Mama
Super Mama 3.
Mama Salisbury was she set the bar.
Yeah.
She set the bar for all the mamas that come on our threads from day one. We had some come this last season, but Mama Salisbury came with it, and I can't tell you how many conversations I had back and forth with her because we was in the middle of the COVID.
So you were in the bubble. I remember you telling me, I was like, "How's Christian Salisbury doing?" Because we had him on the show before the season, and he's like, "I talked to his mom every day." I was like,
every day.
What?
Every day. Literally, she checked on that every day. The draft. She wanted to know the ins and outs. And I say that in such a great way because sometimes, in this this journey that we have as men trying to chase that football dream, you need somebody in your corner. And a lot of people say that they're in your corner, but she was out there. She was his manager, social media guy, like everything that you can think about. And you can start see this bond, and you can see how. What energized him and what fueled him to be the athlete he was. And he came in here and he killed it, man. And if you guys haven't researched anything that's happened, I mean, I don't even thank God that they found the person. So let's just say that they found the person who did it. So and then that's over. But when you go back and read some of the websites of his high school, and you get to really know Christian, man, it's the same. He's been the same kid back in high school that he was now. And they had this memorial at his high school. All the people came in come on, man. We there's this thing going around called, give me my flowers now while I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's sad that sometimes that, we do so much in life and then you don't get flowers until you're missed or you're gone. It's just it really sucks. But I can say, talking to his mother, she was sincerely in a tough place, man. And I just hearing her voice just even make me cringe now because I just know how she felt and how she was about him. And I just my heart goes out to his whole family, man.
Awful, man. Really tough. This is a really good idea. Astrophysical Anomaly puts, can we name the MVP award after him?
That's so great. I'm glad somebody said that. So, because we were on a call. I don't know. I can't remember what call I was on, but it was like the day of, I think it happened. And not to take the spotlight off of Christian, but those who have been following us since we've first started, he's our second player that's had an incident like this. Derwin Lauderdale, with the Screaming Eagles, when our first proof of concept, he was one of our first players that got the same type of thing happening. And so that happened, and then this happened, and then there's a lot of people that don't know. I can't remember the movie, Josh. The name of just is popping off my mind right now, but John Pettit. You guys don't know who John Pettit is and what John Pettit had to do for this company. He has been in indoor football for years. Without him, we wouldn't have Jerry Kreutz. They came hand in hand, and they have had a lot of football experience. I know he had a lot to do with helping out Soar for our CEO and Cyrus, our COO, of really just understanding the logistics of football here and how to run an actual league and a team. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, So I want us as fans. I think that's a great idea. We figure out how do we memorialize these people, because without Derwin Lauderdale, we wouldn't have had our first touchdown. Without Christian Salisbury, we would not have had his talent on the field and his mama. Right? Without Pettit, we wouldn't have half the things that we have right now. So
it's almost like Brian Hino Joseph 236 says, can we replace the People's Championship with his name? I mean, I think that's The People's Championship stays the People's Championship.
I
That's
think so.
for
Yeah.
all the fans, right?
Yeah.
But for somebody like Christian, maybe there's an award we give out, like the Christian Salisbury Award.
I was going
right?
to say, I love, and I'm surprised, like, and this has got to be a debate one day. I mean, no disrespect to any older player that's ever played, like, Outland and Biletnikoff, but like, how is there not a Deion Sanders?
I know.
What trophy?
Right. Yes.
Like, yes. I mean, are we serious right now?
Yeah.
It is like, so yes, we should have those type of, like if you go back to Christian playing in high school, they say he was nothing but a team player and a giver, and maybe we could wrap his
like a Walter Payton Award kind
exactly
of
a Walter Payton Award. But I mean, if you think about JJ Watt, he's won it 3 years in a row, so that's kind of speaks about his integrity or something.
Totally.
So we should think that's a great idea. We should definitely jot that down.
And maybe there's like a nobody ever wears 22 for the Beasts again, something.
Like that, you know what I thought was cool though, and I love that too. The problem with that, fans, is we need all the numbers.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, and it's just that's just a more of a numerical thing that because of the players we have. But I love that all the Pittsburgh Steelers were number 32 walking.
I know.
I was like, when I saw that, I was thinking of you. I was like,
how about in a that 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception was Christmas Eve, right? And he dies 3 days before it. And I was talking to my uncle and my dad, and we're talking like my dad had tickets, and it was minus 19 at kickoff. Like they couldn't sell tickets that game. Franco dies, they sell out, right? And what Franco means in that city is wild. And I think I sent you that documentary about Franco's Italian army.
You did, yeah.
But in a similar respect, and we're going to put up Christian's GoFundMe, Jim, if you could throw that link up there, and we can do it. But like, there's something magical about the impact that a player has after death that I don't want to say like forget.
Yeah.
But it like the memories that rush back from that.
Yeah.
Send you down this wormhole of like going and watching and learning and kind of like reliving all of those memories. Because when he passed away, like I went onto our back end and started just searching for Christian Salisbury highlights along with some of our post-production crew.
Did the same thing, man. And
right?
And you know what? It's funny you said that, bro, because I say this all the time to my wife. Like when you Jim, Good Morning America, we watch it all the time. Good Morning America comes on and you see somebody passed away, and you're like, I hope that I'm just not a hashtag. And
right.
I wish that at least I impacted someone enough to go back and research my life and go, wow, like what did this guy do? Like, and Christian was that type of guy. You were like, man, what? And then you start pulling up the same articles, like speaking about his character, what type of team player he was, what type of teammate he was, and stuff like that. So that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, being an Italian kid from Pittsburgh, Franco Harris was everything. And he also went to Penn State, right?
No.
So it was like this whole thing.
And
so
small story.
Yeah.
As we were doing all that research,
I
end up on Twitter, and then I saw somebody made a Tecmo Bowl of that play, and I think I sent it to you, and I was like, it made me want to play Tecmo Bowl.
Yes,
but it also was like, how did they do that with that play? Like
genius.
It was so iconic to see.
So good.
Tecmo Bowl it was great. So.
Well, so and for those that have never been to the city of Pittsburgh, when you fly into Pittsburgh, every person that exits the airport has to go down this set of escalators, and you walk by two people, right? George Washington and Franco Harris.
I took a picture. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Yep. It is strategically put in that place where you're going to see him.
You have to see the Immaculate Reception.
So good.
And apparently the talk was, because originally it was just George Washington. Okay. It was just the George Washington statue. Okay. And we lost to the Raiders in like the early 90s when they built a new airport. And somebody was like, I don't like Raiders fans coming here and being happy. We should do something. And they put that statue there. That's the best part.
It's so good. It's so good.
Here, so I have, and my family has been deeply entrenched with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time. My great uncle was the head of the Ushers Union for about 35 years, right? So
that's big. That's huge.
It's huge,
that's
right?
Huge.
So he worked at Forbes Field. My uncle worked at Forbes Field. They went on to Three River Stadium, which is where the Immaculate Reception took place, right? So the story goes, as my voice cracks, the story goes is that my uncle, who's now 74 years old, they were in the end zone. And shockingly, pretty much every usher was either Italian or Polish, right? Like they all knew a guy from the same neighborhood that was like, hey, dude, can I get an usher's job at the stadium? They're like, all right, we'll see what we can do, right? So there's all these ushers down there. And you know them because they wore those yellow coats. There was no security really back in the day. There was probably like 10 or 15 cops that hung around, but they weren't really security. They were there in case like legitimately a riot broke out, right?
Okay.
So there wasn't that many cops and there was just ushers. So the Immaculate Reception happens. And this, a lot of people think it was the AFC Championship game. This was a divisional round. We went on to win the Super Bowl, but it wasn't a AFC Championship game. It was a divisional round.
Okay.
So we still had to go on. I forget who we beat in the AFC Championship regardless. So the Immaculate Reception happens. It comes running towards my great uncle and my uncle and their buddies. Okay. You had guys like Gill and Camel and Struggles. Like these are real people, right?
Wait, so Franklin Harris was coming to him?
Coming right into the end zone. It all happens. The place goes effing insane. Okay.
Yeah.
The refs get together. And they start talking because everybody thinks it hit Frenchie Fuqua, which would have made it a dead ball foul, right? Back in the day, it couldn't hit a guy and then another guy catch it. Okay. So Jack Tatum will always say it hit Frenchie, and Frenchie will always say it hit Jack Tatum. Okay. So the refs are talking, and my great uncle gets word that they're talking, and he goes over and he kind of like leans his ear in and he goes, fellas, look around. You reverse that call. We don't have enough cops to get you out of here. And they were like, touchdown.
Oh, shit.
Dude, that is like a urban legend story that has been told at dinner tables. And that is my great uncle's story. Peter Argentine is the story. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
So you mean to say he's going to be in the 30 for 30?
He's in the 30 for 30. When they did the Peyton's Places, they talk about that story. And he's like, hey, I heard this story about like cops not being able to get the refs out. And I was like, that's my uncle's story. That's the story. It's wild, man. It's wild.
Dude, so
crazy. Yeah. That's right. Astrophysical Anomaly says it. We lost to Miami that year. So Miami, that was the undefeated Miami season. So we beat the Raiders on the Immaculate Reception. We go to the AFC Championship game. Miami, we have to go to Miami. Miami came to us, and it was like the warmest day in Pittsburgh. It was like 74 degrees.
It's
and
like
Miami
right now,
went on to win.
It's like 52 degrees right now in Chicago. I don't know what just happened. It was negative
minus 30.
It was a chill. The wind chill factor was like 32 the other day, negative 32, and now it's 58 degrees. Weird, man. This earth ain't happy with us, man.
It is not. It is not. Well, that's some story time for you guys. And again, our thoughts and prayers really go out to Christian Salisbury's.
And I didn't want to. Yeah, we didn't want to. I know everybody's going into this whole new year, coming off of the holidays and going to this new year in a positive way. We don't want to just make this a negative thing. We talked about this. It was like Christian was he was a bright light.
Yeah.
So we should be happy and proud and honored that we were able to watch him play. He worked like when I saw one of the articles, he had one of our jerseys on, and I was just like, that's what's up. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Like we could, and if you look at some of the things that he's posted, it was his time he spent here in Fan Control. And cool. And when you look in his Wikipedia, it talks about he was one of the first franchise tagged at the Beast. Like, so that just cool. When you think about all that and you hear that, you're like, damn, man, I had something to do with that. Yeah. Like every fan that picked him had something to do with him being successful here. So shouts out to everybody that, and we put that there because we're not asking you for anything, but if you had a chance to be around Christian, you know what I'm saying, and that GoFundMe's up there, that's an official GoFundMe from his mother. If you had a chance to enjoy her on our podcast or see him play, shout him out. That's the least we can do.
Yep. This is a fun question, and after we're going to go. This comes from Facebook. We are live on Twitter. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. Nate Quigley says, "Been with the FCF Glacier Boys since season 1. Even bought the authentic jersey from each season and the Apes replica because they're fire. But I think every team needs a home and away jersey. Too many similar colored jersey, you get more of my money." Now, I don't know about home and away jerseys, but I know we've talked about, Ray, and you could go with me here.
Yeah.
Making next year's jerseys so each team so different from the other ones.
Yeah.
That we can't get confused anymore. Because I agree.
I think everyone hates away jerseys. Let's just be honest. No one wants a white jersey.
The Steelers' white jerseys are the worst.
And I think there may be one or two you be like, okay, those are hot. All right, whatever. But honestly, no one wants white jerseys. We that was something that when we looked at the color palettes of every team, we're like, damn it. We were hoping, and that's not what we wanted, but that's what the fans wanted. But we want to definitely this year make sure there's a significant difference between that.
Totally.
But yeah, that I'm like y'all, but again, it goes back to players being in the league, how many players and all that. So it's a whole lot of things that we have to look at for that. But this year will be definitely more considerate of that.
B says, any new teams, possibly a squid squad. I don't know what a squid squad is, but I know we won't have any new teams.
No. And what is a squid squad? I want to.
Yeah, B. What is a squid squad? That's shout out, Ray. I don't know if you know this, but Freddie Airmail and Stathead have a podcast on our podcast network, on the FCTV podcast network. Freddie's Stat Go, and it's fantastic. They do a great job.
Yeah, I haven't. I've been all up in a ruckus for a minute, so I need to slow it down and get some of that stat here. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. So
they're good. They're really, really good.
Yeah, I'll pop in on Kaka every now and then, and he's he's
doing it. He and Jose have a great show. Info Arcade has a great show. All those new shows will be back in the new year. Info Arcade on Tuesday, Don't Cause a Ruckus Wednesday, us on Thursdays, and a possible new live show on Mondays, and a possible new live show on Fridays. We'd love to be live every single day if we can in the new year. So we're working that out. B says the Zappers
possibles. Can we get a little bit of insight?
No, not until next year.
See,
that's called a tease, right? It's called a tease.
And I'm in the company, not here when y'all here. See how that shit work?
The Zappers went from a black uni to a red uni. That's true. No, Zapper. We have never had a
red. Did you consider that red? Was that my
It's like a
red. That was red. Okay. I guess the orange threw me off a little bit with the bowl, but yeah, I guess that is red.
A Squid Squad would be the team name, but just spitballing. Happy New Year's, everyone. Oh, Squid Squad. Oh, okay. Okay. Squid Squad. I don't hate it.
Be the name of the team.
But I think that we should make the like base colors louder. Like if we're gonna go Knights of Degen, make the base the orange, like the bright Knicks orange.
That's a great idea.
And the Glacier Boy. I don't know. Hey, what my question I was going to ask you, and then we're going to get into these Discord questions because a lot of you guys asked some really fun ones in here. If Ink and Toner played for opposite FCF teams, who would they play for?
I'd play for the Zappers, or I'd be the quarterback at Aid Okies.
Quarterback of Aid Okie, huh?
Yeah.
I think I'm like the assistant coach of the Glacier Boys.
Yeah, you'd be a wide receiver for the Glacier Boys or the running back for the Bees.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. There you go. All right, we got one. Jack Patrick, can you explain to the KOD squad that they're not that good and the Apes are the best in the league? Sure, based solely on record and what happened in last season, you would be correct. There's no argument there.
Yeah. Is that an argument? Oh, okay.
Can you explain to KOD? KOD, here's the explanation. You didn't have as many wins and you didn't make it to the People's Championship.
You had some skill. You had the chance.
You did.
But it is what it is. Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
I can agree with that, Jack.
There is, I think, hands down, the most underrated player in the FCF is Ed Crouch. Not enough people everybody.
Man, and it's crazy. It is he he is he is probably the most underrated. Yeah. You out of all, especially in the quarterback space, is like he is if you think about what he's done in the FCF, like he's been legendary.
Yes. First ballot. All right, let's do some Discord questions, Ray.
We got to do a first ballot FCF. That'd be great.
Yeah, right.
We definitely got to start that for sure.
Okay, here we go. Question 1 comes from our buddy Woody the Duck. Okay,
of course.
Now, this is our wheelhouse. This is ink and toner style, Ray.
Okay, all right.
Pitch me a movie featuring a dinosaur, ballet, football, and a socket wrench. Go.
Do that one more time.
Okay.
He wants the script or he wants the name. What is it?
No, we just pitch. We just pitch the movie.
Pitch. Okay.
Got it.
Say it one more time.
Pitch me a movie featuring a dinosaur, ballet, football, and a socket wrench. You want me to go first on this one?
You go first.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Here's what it is. It's an animated film.
Of course.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a family of dinosaurs. And they are not, as most people know in this world, dinosaurs are not very good at car racing. But this dinosaur's family has a long lineage of car racing. They're a little too big for the car, so they got to squeeze in there. But what they make up in size, what they lack in size or whatever, they make up for in speed because their arms are really tight, right? They get to the wheel and they can turn it really fast. Now, one of these dinosaurs is an incredible pit crew member, so good with the socket wrench, but he doesn't want to be in the family business anymore, Ray. He wants to follow his dream of being the first dinosaur ballet in Swan Lake.
I like
so that. He chases his dream, and at the final ballet, he's trained his whole life to be in this ballet. He looks out and there's 8 empty seats where his family should be. And you cut, and his brother wins the big race, and he busts the car through. The family jumps on the car, they speed, they park the car, and just as he's about to make the stage, the family of dinosaurs sits down, and he makes his first big plie spin. He looks out and he sees his family, big smile on his face, absolutely crushes it.
I love that. And his best friend, see, if you got a whole group of those type of dinosaurs, you got to have one black guy. So Tyrannosaurus Rex would be his best friend. And he's the one that kind of teaches him and shows him how to, work the hood. He takes him to the hood and work on old cars, like old rhinoceros cars and shit. And then he introduces him to, his uncle, Brian Rhinoceros Rex, and then
LeBrontosaurus,
you know what I'm saying? Then he plays and gets beat up a little bit, but then he gets back with his, and then he kills it,
crushes it.
Him and Tyrannosaurus Rex, they now own the universe right now. They're gazillionaires because they take over everything, and then everybody they destroy becomes oil, and then they become rich because of that. And then they have their own race car place, and it's called Tyrannosaurus and Ink and Toner and Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, man. You would have killed that.
Killed it. Freddie Airmail, this is like Chop, but for movie concepts. You know what?
Easy.
This is actually a pretty fun idea for a podcast, is each week somebody, every 10 minutes, somebody gives us new 4 words and we come up with a movie or a TV show based just on
hard
those words.
That's hard, dude. I've seen that done. That is you can skid off like that. You got some skills, boy.
Challenge accepted. No, says Land Before Time, The Sugar Plum Mechanic. It's a musical too. I agree. All right. Scratch Out says, and I don't know if your family does this, Ray, but my family always puts scratchers in your stocking. Everybody gets a bunch of scratch offs as their stocking stuffers.
Oh, scratchers. Oh no. Yeah. I thought you meant something to
back scratchers.
Yeah.
No. Like scratch off, like lottery tickets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's up. That's what.
Okay.
I had to go to yo Christmases. Boy.
Yeah. None of us ever win. No one has ever win anything. I think I won a free ticket this year, but it's always fun to scratch out. And Rosie got a big kick out of scratch it, using the coin to scratch things out. All right. What are your way too early FCF 3.0 playoff matchup predictions?
Oh, that's yeah. I mean,
here's This is Kingpins, the biggest turnaround. They're the best team in the league next year. Kingpins 8 Oki coming out of the Ballers division, and Zappers regain form. Zappers Glacier Boys in the other playoff.
I think and I'm going purely off of fan just hype. The Bored Apes, they got something to prove. I think like after watching that whole debacle, like the way that ended, when to see them walk off the field, they were all pissed off. So to me, I gotta say the Bored Apes are the ones. The Zappers don't have anything to prove. It's they've won, and nobody thought they were going to win. So they have nothing to prove. But okay, we just got to come out with our sophomore record. But the Bored Apes, they were like the Wu-Tang Clan, and they didn't deliver. At the end of the day, they just didn't deliver. So,
were you at the same Wu-Tang show that I went to, where they showed up 3.5 hours late, did one song, and left? I walked out pissed. I walked out like a Bored Ape fan. Astrophysical numbers.
They walked up out of there. Hey, they walked up. They took everything. They just started taking iPads and shit. They were taking merch as they walked out. I was like, damn, they was pissed.
It was like the last game at Three Rivers Stadium, which I was at. People just ripping up their seats. Like guys brought drills, like snuck drills into the stadium to unscrew their seats at Three Rivers. It was wild, man.
Crazy.
All right. Reese Scott Rogers Rate V2 says, should there be an FCF All-Star game of sort? Well, we had like a skills challenge last year, but
but I know what I love that idea, and we've talked about that, and I was a big push for that. Just based on, and I think the one of the thing was keeping guys here. Like we didn't know who, extra rooms and like having X amount of guys here, and plus playing another week, and we didn't actually schedule that week. So you think about the cost of an entire new game on because we were at the middle of the season. We're like, shit, we should do like we're like, nah, we can't do it. Like we just the logistics to put it all together. But yes, going forward in the future, man, I would love a all-time game or something like that. Like all the big time guys that used to play here,
come back
that are not playing for the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants that can come and play in the league, and then everybody get a chance to see Ed Couch and work with Pendell and work with Jamil, and everybody get a chance to see Deshaun Benton and Stiggers, and I think that would be dope. So I'm all for that.
I want to make the skills challenge next season, like the last week skills challenge, a little more just kind of interactive, I guess would be the word, but just like bigger. I want more skills.
And it doesn't just have to be football too. And we need some thinking.
Yes.
Put guys in positions to think quick.
I want some like trivia kind of stuff. Yeah.
And I tell you, man, we need a ladder drill. We need a agility drill, because everybody I can't. If I see another.
I want that.
If I see another one of them videos, all right, we need to have somebody make a video.
Yes,
that needs to be a competition. Yeah.
And we should have Destroying come in and host the agility drill, because that's all he does on YouTube.
These stuff
he's crushing
madness. He is Destroying is like his stock is going
straight up. Yeah,
so good.
Ruthless QD asks, if they brought tools, did they think they were going to lose? It was the last game at the stadium. We didn't make the playoffs that year. So everybody was like, I'm taking things. We're taking everything. They were going to explode it. Okay. Will there be season D Factor asks, will there be season 2.0 trading cards? That's been a discussion. I think there's going to be some, I saw some amazing artwork of some things, but
it's been on and off the table. So it's still live. So yeah, possible.
Frosty asks, how are tags going to work heading into season 3? I think the same as they did in season 2. If guys come back and they're
I mean, and that's the biggest thing. We I don't know if you guys know, but come next week is our first tryout in Atlanta. This weekend. So all the football and man basketball too. So we're doing
back to back.
So you're not going, but I'll be there. All the football ops is down there, so we always get good turnouts there. So we're starting there. It's tough for us to get who's coming back. so early. You know what I mean? So it's always great to see some of the guys come out to the tryouts, and they always do the support, and but that's always great. But we don't know. So to start franchising and tagging guys, or even having that idea, man, I wish I could tell you. When I know who's gonna be here, I'll let you guys know. So that it's a huge process of trying to make guys have went on other leagues. Guys are still kind of in the pool. Guys are still trying to still get picked up. There's still possibilities for the league. So and which is great.
I hope Quintez Stiggers just comes to the tryout. That's the guy I want to see.
I mean, and he'll be a superstar. Like he is he's legitimately going to be the next, Andrew Jamil or one of those guys that goes off and does something else great.
Stiggers is the best, man. I love that guy. All right. Nerd E Play says, what are your guys' predictions for the college football playoff semis? So
I don't know. I haven't even looked at it yet. I have been in my head has been down. But,
if Georgia loses, I would be very shocked.
I would be very shocked.
They are so good.
Yep.
And I think Michigan wins in the other one.
And I like Ohio State because
I do too.
Got some studs. And I'm just throwing this. I'm gonna throw this name out there for you guys, for you Ohio State guys. Dalen Hayden.
Okay.
He's a freshman running back.
Mm-hmm.
He is the future.
Okay.
Watch. He's a teammate. He's one of my old teammates at University of Tennessee. Aaron Hayden.
Okay.
Played at Tennessee back in the day with us. That's his son, and he is going to be a stud.
I got you. I love it. Okay. UC_510 says, can we get Derek Carr from the Raiders? Ray, I have never seen this happen before, where a player just has steps away from the team for the last 3 games, or the team's like, you know what? Take the last 3. I've never seen that before.
That's an interesting one. I've never seen that done in professional football. Who has anybody ever seen that?
Team says, hey, listen, we're not going to make the playoffs. Just don't come. You're still going to get paid. Just don't come. Ray, I have never seen that.
We don't want you around.
Yeah.
No, don't even come in the building. Think about what that says. That's crazy.
Imagine you own the restaurant. You're the chef. You came up with all the dishes.
I was about to say, you make the best dish.
You make the best. And there's nah. I mean, listen, do I think he's had a rough season? Yeah. Do I think he's had a rough few years? Yes. But also, isn't that sort of the curse of the Raiders since the 90s?
And what is that? 13 maybe? Was he 13, 14? He's been in for a minute.
Yeah.
14?
2014, 2015, something like that. It's been a minute. Freddie, are you still in here? When did did David Carr come into the league? Or Derek Carr? David Carr was his brother. David Carr had that hair, but he got sacked 140,000 times in his first 2 seasons.
I'm laughing because I think I'm trying to figure out if is it his business LinkedIn or really David Carr, because he linked me in. So I was like,
no way.
I was like, is this the real David Carr?
Miss Queen Rodham says, if I may ask, who won the Syracuse versus Minnesota bowl game? Boykin for MVP. Minnesota. Thank you. Dude, Ray, as you know, these early bowl games, none of them matter.
It's just those guys getting a couple $1,000.
Correct.
And good time and having fun. So
when my buddy played at Syracuse, he said the best part about going to a bowl game and why they all wanted to go to a bowl, it was just gifts. It was just all gifts.
Bro, I can only imagine
what it's like now.
Now, you would go to your locker room and wherever, I played Tennessee, so we were always at the Citrus Bowl. I didn't spend so much time in Orlando and fucking Disney World. I've been to Disney World 3 times, man. And I feel bad, but we would come to our locker and there would just be stuff.
So my buddy had
stuff. So I can only imagine the type of stuff that these guys are getting in their locker.
Good Lord. Penn State went to we always go to
I didn't want to cut you off.
No.
So do you hear? I don't know if people know how players get paid for the bowl games. They don't necessarily get paid. What you get is a first round ticket to the game from where you're from.
A first class ticket.
So if you from if you're from California,
yeah,
and you got to fly to Florida for the bowl game, they give
because of
you
Christmas.
they give you a first round ticket, and you can redeem it, and it's usually a couple $1,000s.
No way.
That's how that's how it was. Like, that's the
Yeah.
only way that you actually got actual cash. And so you would see brothers four in a car driving through Atlanta, stop at Magic City, keep going, go to Florida. And everybody put in 40. Everybody put in 40. All that we need is 160 to get there. We be that's it. You got
that. I did not know that. That is amazing. That's amazing.
That is how. That's all. And you just room up with guys that, like, you know what, we're gonna drive to from. Yeah. That's how that works.
So when I first moved to LA, I was a bartender at like a pretty high end hotel bar, and the year of the Rose Bowl that Penn State played USC against Mark Sanchez, and we got smoked.
Oh yeah.
Right. It was 2009, I think 2008, something like that, 2008, 2009. I was bartending, and Penn State was staying in our hotel, and all the players were there till 2 a.m. And I was like, guys, do you care about the game? They're like, no. I was like, I know. Okay. Glad I didn't buy a ticket.
The practices were horrible, man. I used to see guys just because they used to all just hang out and stuff.
Yeah.
But practice was, I mean, you're there having fun. And I think it's those, those top 3, games. Yeah, they're for real. Everything to me, everything after that, everybody's having fun.
That's why they got to expand the playoff, or don't expand the playoff, but don't get our height. Like, don't do all these bowl. Anyway, I mean, I'm psyched for the players, for the swag, the gifts, and the first class tickets. I will say my other story about a bowl game. Every year, the teams that play in the Rose Bowl will go to the Improv for a stand-up show. So, like, Florida or Ohio State would come in, and then Oregon would come in. Right? No, both teams couldn't fit in the room. So I would do stand-up for like these full college football programs. And I was begging for Penn State to come and make the Rose Bowl. For the 7 years that I did stand-up for those Rose Bowl teams, Penn State never. effing came, right? God, man. Anyway. All right, we got a few more questions, and then we're coming near the end of the show. So we appreciate everybody being here. Hope everybody's gonna have an amazing New Year. All right. Andy Goons says, who is your NFL MVP? It's not Russell Wilson.
Man, wow.
Listen, everybody just goes for quarterbacks. It's the Heisman Trophy is just a quarterback trophy, right? The MVP seems to always be a quarterback trophy.
Yeah.
But I think this year, man, that's tough. Cause
I'm gonna go and I know everybody, I'm gonna get shit when I say this, but it's gonna not mean anything on football. But I'm gonna just be honest with you. As this football thing keeps moving on and innovating, we're all the old school guys are leaving, and the MVP to me, JJ Watt is leaving, man. And when we talk about people who make an impact on a sport, if you can't get more MVP than that, man, that dude has brought millions and millions of dollars to people. And not saying he's not going to be able to do that when he gets out, but the impact that he had when he was in sport, a 3-time, Walter Payton winner, like, if that don't win MVP, I don't know what does, man. So no, that's just my
man. JJ Watt, I always wanted him to come and play one season with his brother in Pittsburgh, just one. Both brothers, but he, the human body makes the decisions, Ray, as you know.
Man, I mean, hearing him and just I remember hearing I'm freaking losing his Calvin Harris.
Yeah. Calvin Johnson.
Excuse me. Calvin Johnson. Yeah, like hearing that, and you didn't even think about that. You're like, you're right. Everybody that tried to hit him had to try to hit him hard because he was just so big. You just had to go hard going at him. And people, man, I was just telling you about how my knee is, man.
Yeah.
When your body can't go anymore, when you're up full speed against those guys, you can see it in the faces of guys are like, body can't do it anymore. Nope, can't move like that.
Ray, I woke up with like back pain like I've never felt before after playing an hour of basketball in the backyard with my nephew. I don't know how. I mean, I'm not an elite athlete, so it is what it is. But man, how violent.
Think about one of the most to me I don't want to jump on that whole coattail with Deion, because I've been a Deion fan since I was in high school. But you think about the fastest player that's ever played the game, and you look at his feet. Like, there's damage that happened with that man's feet. That man's feet has been in some pain.
Yes.
And to be the type of athlete and to do the things he was doing, I mean, he's suffering those consequences now. Yeah. So
do you think Colorado next year is they're not going to be in the national championship conversation, but what do you think? 10-2?
Yeah. Well, number one thing, I think it was an incredible decision. It was a business decision that he made, and I think that his impact on that university and that city already has been different. Like, it's already been different. And I mean, Colorado ain't been cool since the Darren Hagen and Michael Westbrook days. You know,
I was going to say Cordell Stewart
days. Like, it's been that long. You know what I'm saying? That it's been that long. The enemy. You know, it's
I know.
Days.
Yes.
And so, you know, and that's a difficult place to recruit. And the fact that they changed I think they even changed the NCAA policy for him to be able to recruit based off of, I think it was credits that they were able to give back. It's all those things, man. Like that dude's going to make a heck of an impact, and you can't.
Agreed.
1-6 can't do nothing but go up.
Mr.
Just think about Deion Sanders being in your living room as a
I know.
Like, I had Coach Osborne from Nebraska sitting in I told you guys the story. He ate up all the Doritos. Just imagine Deion Sanders in your as a college kid, like a high school kid. Come on, man.
Insane. Ready, set, nom. Guess who that is? That's our buddy Jacob Montez. Almost happy, almost New Year.
Jacob! You know what's so funny? I just saw an edit that we were together, me, you, and him. We were in Pullman, and we were shooting the train thing for Pullman.
Yeah.
And I saw Jacob, and I was like, "Oh, that's my dude, Jay. What up, Jay? What up, man?"
Legend. He's the best. Mr. C comes in, and he just says, "Makuga's mom wears a jersey." Okay, I know. At least she's wearing something. Banana Leche, our friend, who is the biggest flop of the year and why is it Kyle Pitts? Dude, I've had so many funny people tell me that like every fantasy magazine told them to draft Kyle Pitts as like the number one tight end. He's had like 10 catches. That's why I don't do fantasy football anymore, Ray. Back to the NFL MVP. I think it's going to be it'll be Patrick Mahomes, but I think Josh Allen and Joe Burrow have
Jalen Hurts too.
Jalen Hurts for sure.
The
Eagles are dangerous, and that pains me to say. Miss Queen Rodham says, "Who was the head coach of the year?" Just because of his press conferences and his honesty, I'd say Josh McDaniel in Miami. But with the whole handling of Tua Tagovailoa, man, that is a really tough situation. That is so hard to watch.
I saw Brandon Marshall's man. I was just like, I don't know what, man. In one season,
I know,
man, that's a lot, man. And
it's a lot.
The same type of one, like it's the same, like head. It's not like one here. It's like in the same place.
That same thing. It's brutal.
Is so scary, man. I pray for that dude, man.
Me too. I saw we'll do 2 more Discord questions, and then I've got a quick little trivia thing for you, Ray. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Mr. C said, "Ray is so cool. Cats watch TikTok videos of him." All right. Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, Ray?
Oh, I mean, well, I know why you saying it, so I would say Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm gonna go Starbucks. They have these bacon Gouda egg bites that are unbelievable.
See, and really I knew you were gonna. And they have this little They have this waffle bacon egg deal that I used to like. Yeah, so and I like their coffee more. Starbucks coffee just punch you in the mouth, man.
A little bit.
You might as well just You just might as well just chew it the way it tastes sometimes. I'm like,
Miss Queen Rodham says, I say Philly head coach. Freddie Aaron comes in. What about Peterson possibly getting Jags in the playoffs? Hey, he's made Trevor. Listen, if I was Trevor Lawrence, I would be washing his car. I would be calling him, whispering sweet nothings into his ear. You know,
Just green lighting them damn jerseys they had on the other fire. Jacksonville is doing it right
I know.
now.
I know. The Steelers need some kind of swag, man. I'm tired of not having swag.
Old school is, I get it, but man, the Jaguars,
my two teams, Ray, are the least swagless teams in the history of football. Penn State, we have two colors.
Yeah. Y'all, what are y'all doing, man? Y'all
nothing. They're like, let's put the numbers on the side of the helmets for the throwbacks. And then the Steelers we were like, we're gonna change the number to block numbers.
Bro, the gray Tennessee with the orange.
No, the black with the orange.
Black with the orange.
Vader.
Oh, bro! If they would have had, man, come on, black man. I've always wanted to play in just solid like a black.
Yeah.
And black, that gray though, that gray.
Yeah,
man,
fire,
man, fire.
Freddie Airmail says Penn State used to be pink and black. I don't know if you know that, Ray. Our first colors were pink and black until like the early 30s, I believe. Like it was early on. We were pink and black.
I did not know that.
Yeah, wow. And one of my buddies played on the golf team, and he petitioned.
Wait, which was solid, the pink or the black?
The pink was like a black with pink stripe. Yeah, yeah. My buddy who was on the golf team petitioned the school, and they let the Penn State once a year in a tournament wear pink pants and black shirts with the Penn State logo on.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Final Discord question, Ray. Discord question.
Okay.
And this is a tough one. In your opinion, who is the FCF GOAT? That comes from Scratch Out.
Oh, wow.
I would say the caveat here is they had to have played in season 1 and 2. And I don't think there is a better player on the field when he's on there than Andrew Jamil.
Yeah. The GOAT. Man.
But there is the argument for DeAndre Francois. Because if those two were to have stayed on the same team together, had DeAndre gone to the Glacier Boys or vice versa, I think whatever team that is wins the championship. Those cards didn't fall that way. But I'm telling you, Andrew Jamil, when he's out there, he's just different than everybody else.
I gotta admit, I gotta say the same thing. I was leaning DeAndre, but when you think about the impact of Andrew and the street cred that he has with the locker room,
yes,
like you guys, I mean the fans, I'm just letting y'all know, like the locker room, like mad respected him for his game. Like I used to sit in the DB meetings, and they all talked about him, like and everybody wanted to go at him. So that says a lot.
Quantez Stiggers said the funniest thing in the history of the shows, right? Quantez Stiggers near the end of the season. Quantez Stiggers like, I do not like to cover that man. I was like, why? And he's like, he is too fast all the time. At the end of the game, he's faster than he was at the beginning, and I am not. I was like, Quantez said it the best. He's just different, right? He's just different,
man. Yeah, and again, it's like I was telling somebody this the other day when I was at UT, and then I was a freshman, and that was the same Charlie Garner, James Stewart, Heath Schuler, all those guys were drafted. And so it was just like, man, I played on the team with these guys.
Yeah.
Like there's a possibility that I could, do that.
Sure.
And so when you see like Cavante move on and Travis move on, like Andrew is like right there, man. Like, like there's everybody has that report card, and there's that C- D+ is that size thing. But that boy's got a heart bigger than motherfucker. I'm telling you, man, that boy got a heart on him. I'm telling you, that boy comes at it hard.
Yep, absolutely. Freddie Amro, former Vol, Josh Dobbs starting tonight for the Titans, also former Steeler. Thank you, Freddie. I knew that. He came out of that mold of like the T. Martin mold. It's like T. Martin, Josh Dobbs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's my guy. That's always one of my guys, man. That's like T was younger. Peyton was a little older. Or they were same age.
Well, no, T started the year after Peyton, right?
Yeah, Peyton had already gotten drafted, and at my my year, and then T came over and took over, and that's when they won the national championship.
Yeah, and didn't T beat Florida? Was that the big one? Yeah,
Florida
T
State.
and Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State. Pit him and Peerless Price. They hooked up on that cover 2 fade.
Yeah.
That zone, we got that corner sit a little bit, and that safety can't get over top. Boom, they hit that point. Done.
You know what's crazy? You know where T Martin also played? Pittsburgh.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All those Tennessee guys love Pittsburgh, man. They come to Pittsburgh.
I know. I just thought about it.
A lot of Tennessee guys come to Pittsburgh. Yeah. All right. I got one last thing for you, Ray. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we can get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys follow us on.
Let's put that GoFundMe back.
Yeah, Jim, could you put the Christian Salisbury GoFundMe up again, please, if you don't mind? Okay, these are wild headlines of 2022, and you have to tell me if I made it up or if it's real. Okay.
All right.
Story 1. Florida man drives stolen truck to Space Force base to warn of aliens and dragons.
True. It's Florida.
That is true. That's true.
Florida.
True. Give the man a point. All right. Korea lifts ban on imported sex dolls.
True.
That's true. That's true. That's real. That's a real one. That's a real one. Korea really stepping into the 21st century. All right. German woman paints pig, wins soccer tickets for life.
No.
Yeah, that's fake. That's
no.
fake. That's fake. Right. You're on to me.
I need to be with. I know I need to be against somebody today.
I know. Ray, North Dakota woman who brought raccoon to bar gets probation.
Oh, really? I say misdemeanor, but okay. I say probation. Okay, that's true.
That's true. The North Dakota woman loved it. All right. Man of 1,000 scorpions dies of scorpion bite.
No.
I made that one up. Damn it. You're on to me today, Ray. Son of a bitch. All right.
I'll be too busy laughing every time. That's why I don't be thinking of the question most of the time.
Okay. Arizona driver cited for driving in carpool lane with inflatable Grinch as passenger.
So you can go through because you gotta be in a carpool lane with 2 people. I say that's true.
That is true. Give him the points. He's on fire. Let's see if he can go perfect. All right. 27 people flee plane in Spain after woman simulates labor.
No.
That one is true. Oh, he lost it. Peerless Price has lost his peerlessness. Boykin for MVP playing along. All right. 2 more. Camel pageant. Camel pageant among World Cup side attractions.
No.
That's true. It's true. That's true. That's crazy. All right. And finally.
Why do I even start? Oh, my goodness.
Finally.
Go ahead.
College offers class how to cheat at carnival games to freshman students.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. I made that one up. You went 7-0 and lost your last 3.
Freddie said yes, too. So.
Freddie Emerald said he laughed before reading it. Had to be true. He knows me too well. Ray, this has been fun, man. I'm glad we got a chance to hang out and say Happy New Year to the fans and everybody, and shed a little light on Christian Salisbury. He will be missed. I'm sure his family's going through a really tough time right now. The only thing I was told something very young by a person that lost somebody is never give advice, never tell people what to do, only listen. And so if you are going through a tough time or you know people that are going through a tough time, call and just listen. That's the best thing you can do.
1,000%. Half of communication is listening, man. So
yep. Follow us across all the social medias. YouTube here. We're live every single Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. We'll be back next week. Myself, the Commissioner Ray Austin, Patrick Dees, Jeff Kanata. Next week, the show's on FCTV. Join back up. Info Arcade. Don't Cause a Ruckus. We got new videos popping up across all our social medias, YouTube Shorts, the podcast network. Subscribe, rate, tell us, listen, share, do all the fun stuff. This is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. See you next time. As always, power to the fans.
Positive fans.